Meanwhile, the Lieutenant Governor had sent orders that the case against Gandhiji be withdrawn. The collector wrote to him saying that he was at liberty to conduct the proposed inquiry and that official help, if required, would be available. Thus, this was the first success of non-violent civil disobedience movement in the country. On arrival in Bettiah on April 22nd, Gandhiji received an enthusiastic welcome. Gandhiji and Braj Kishore Prasad recorded statements of nearly 4,000 farmers.
जब हमारे किसी बच्चे का विवाह होता है तब कंपनी वाले टैक्स वसूलते हैं। पर्व त्योहार में भी फैक्ट्री के लोग हमसे पैसा वसूलते हैं और अपनी जेब भरते हैं। जब भी किसी रैयत को मृत्यु होती है तो उसके लड़के या वारिस को एक प्रकार का मृत्यु टैक्स देना पड़ता है।
हमारे गांव में किसी भी विधवा की शादी होती है तो उस पर भी टैक्स लिया जाता है।
Local administration and planters pleaded with the authorities to stop Gandhiji. They alleged that he was teaching the tenants to demand higher wages, not to pay rent and taxes, and to boycott their factories. In the face of opposition, Gandhiji continued with his inquiry.
जब बरसाती होए लगी खूब, अब पानी सफर हो जाई, तब का ये गिरहत के चलान दे तू लील कटी है, गड़ी वाला कहीं तू लदी है, अब मेघ के बाप न बरसई रहत, मुझे वही में लदवाई, कदो चक्का हल गेल, कदो बोल हट गेल, बस 10 बजे के बाद में गेल कोठी पर चांस लागी पहलवान की पिटाई करी, एक गिरहतों के जुर्माना करी, तो कहे न सब करी भेजला है।
कभी-कभी हमें कुएं का पानी भरने से रोक दिया जाता है।
इल्हे जोतदार मुझे बार-बार तंग करते हैं कि तुम नील की ही खेती करो। ऐसी हालत में मैं क्या करूं बाबूजी?
When he found that the peasantry was suffering because of illiteracy and ignorance, he established schools in 6 villages with the help of Kasturba Gandhi and volunteers. The volunteer teachers also looked after the medical needs of the local people. Gandhiji's report was a severe indictment of the exploitation of peasantry by the planters. The report said, the tenants were made to work for the planters by force. On minor pretexts, influential local farmers were harassed and made example of. With the discovery of synthetic dyes, there was a drastic fall in the price of indigo. The planters passed on their losses to the farmers. If they did not have cash, they were given hand notes and mortgage deeds for payment in installments at 12%. The farmers were compelled to give their best lands for the landlord's crops. Farmers had to devote all their time and energy on looking after the planters' crops and had no time for earning their own livelihood. Bullock carts were forcibly taken away from the tenants for use by the factories of the planters. The ploughshares of the farmers were kept by the planters for use on the factory land, and the farmers could not use them. Plantation owners filed flimsy civil suits or criminal complaints against the cultivators to keep them under their control. Gandhiji's report compelled the government to appoint an inquiry commission to examine the charges. Gandhiji was requested to be a member. The inquiry committee corroborated the findings of Gandhiji. All the major recommendations were accepted by the government. In-Katya system was abolished through the Champaran Agrarian Bill introduced in the Legislative Council on 29th November 1917. Thus the planters' regime came to an end. A triumph for Gandhiji and a triumph for Satyagraha. It made the farmers politically conscious and gave them courage and self-confidence, an important step towards freedom.